So this lecture is about NoSQL and unstructured health data. So historically, health data once relied heavily on um, relational databases and structured databases in which the data was largely standardized, it was static and manageable, and was put into column and rows. Um, but today we are facing a big tsunami of health data, and which is characterized by enormous volume, velocity, and variety. And since relational databases struggle, they are not built for this scale. So the only alternative and the necessary evolution for the next generation health data sciences is the NoSQL databases. To understand the solution, we must first uh, know that there are three types of data that we now manage. First, we have the structured data that is that fits neatly into predefined tables like or lab results and billing codes, etc. And they are stored in fixed fields. Then we have the semi-structured data, which possess some structure. Think of JSON or XML, etc. They possess some structure, like they have tags and metadata, etc., but they lack a rigid schema, which makes them more flexible but also organized at the same time. Then we have unstructured data, which is the fastest growing category by the, and it is information without any predefined model. It includes narrative notes, imaging, medical imaging, voice data, and genome log files, etc. Okay, so there is this electronic medical records bottleneck that we are facing because of the relational database management system architectures. So we know that modern medicine relies on massive evolving data sources like clinical narratives, medical imaging, genomic log files, and continuous sensor output. But uh, because traditional EMRs are built on rigid database architectures, rigid relational database management system architectures, they struggle to integrate these high velocity streams like real time monitoring and also the massive files like the whole genome sequences because of schema rigidity. So, to solve this problem, we must look at to s- how the data is stored. So in relational databases, uses schema-on-write, which requires a predefined rigid schema. The data must strictly conform before storage. Like think of it like a standardized admission form where every field must be filled before you can submit it. On the other hand, NoSQL data uses schema-on-read, which is a flexible approach, like a clinician's research notebook, in which the data is written in its native language and then retrieved in a proper schema when it is needed to be read. Okay, so the question is that the data is growing, the medical data is growing. So how do we grow with it? So there are two types of scaling which are used. Relational database management system use vertical scaling, which involves uh, like increasing CPU RAM of a single server or um, transforming or uh, transitioning into a more expensive or a bigger server, which will eventually hit its physical limits, so it's insufficient for big data. On the other hand, NoSQL data uses horizontal scaling, which is basically in which we distribute the loads across cluster of many independent servers, and these servers are called shards. And this process of distribution is called sharding, and it's ideal for distributed storage and continuous monitoring. So then NoSQL data is not stored in one format. There are different models for NoSQL databases. The most commonly used in medical data are a document database like MongoDB. It stores the data in flexible JSON or binary JSON format. And it is used in evolving EHRs and clinical summaries, and because it encapsulates the full patient records, and also absorbing new fields instantly without breaking the system or the schema. Then we have key value store like Redis. This is the simplest database model in which the data is stored as unique pairs of keys and values, and these are used for caching and real-time lookups, and for almost instant retrieval. And that is why they are ideal for session tokens and frequently accessed patient info. So document databases are basically like large organized folders, while on the other hand, key value stores are like index cards for instant retrieval. Then we have wide column databases like Cassandra, which are optimized for columns over rows, and they work brilliantly with sparse datasets, unlike traditional databases which are optimized for rows instead of columns. So they use their use cases in high volume time series and IoT data, and work brilliantly with continuous variable center sensor data streams. Then we have the graph database like Neo4j, which stores the data. The data is nodes. The nodes are entities, and the edges are relationships. So instead of using tables, they use the data as nodes and edges. And its main use case is health knowledge graphs, where the relationships are as important as the data itself, and it is ideal for analyzing drug to drug interactions and biological and intricate biological pathways. Okay, so then we have the critical trade-off between consistency and availability of data. So which one do we use? In relation databases, consistency is prioritized, and it guarantees that data integrity uh, data guarantees data integrity at all times, even if access is blocked, and it is mainly used in transactional data where errors are unacceptable, like billing and inventory, etc., and availability is not much of a problem. On the other hand, NoSQL uh, prioritizes availability to uh, consistency. So it is used in places where availability is more important. Unavailability is a greater risk than slight inconsistency, like vitals monitoring, like real-time vitals monitoring, etc. Okay, then beyond just storing data, graph databases are also used for medical analytics. They are uniquely suited for interconnected clinical data where relationships are key. So basically, there is link prediction and there is node classification. And um, link prediction is basically identifying missing associations, such as predicting adverse drug to drug interactions based on previous data. Then there is node classification, which is classifying unlabeled data, like diagnosing patients based on complex history patterns, and analysis, which is essential for processing multi-layered data into actionable insights, not just raw numbers. Okay. Then there is a thing called high density data systems. Uh, Newer clinical system captures vital sign data points like blood pressure and heart rate every 3 to 5 seconds, and these systems leverage the statistical calculation of central tendency like mean, median, etc., to replace manual nursing records, thus reducing the burden on the medical staff while also maintaining high clinical accuracy. Okay, no matter which model we are using for storage of data, uh, compliance with law is important and mandatory. So there are three principles by which um, we use security. We enhance the security and governance. First, we have encryption, that data must be encrypted both at rest, like on our disk, and also in transit using transport layer security, etc. And then we have access control. We implement strong authentication and role-based access control, which ensures that the um, um, PHI, the um, private health information, is strictly limited to authorized personnel only. Then there is audit logging, that in which every modification and every data access is logged to track and for trial and also for compliance audits. So last but not the least, we have the challenges and future direction. The challenges that we are facing in NoSQL data. So first we have the consistency trade-offs, that how do we manage the eventual consistency. That's a big challenge. Then we have the query complexity, because the lack of traditional joins makes it very hard for us to report, and it requires workarounds for reporting and querying. Then there is the skill gap. The thing is that the learning curve for the new SQL, NoSQL tools is very steep. So that is also a challenge. And then the future, the polyglot persistence, which is basically that we will use specialized NoSQL databases as well as the traditional relational database management systems, and thus leveraging the best tools for each specific data challenge. That's it.